Welcome to your Ethereum News Roundup. Here's your latest for Monday, August 26th, 2024. Ethereum client diversity improves. The OP stack supports Circle's bridge to USDC standard. The Optimism Collective earns over 14,000 ETH from Superchain sequencer revenue. And base names surpass 200,000 registrations. All this and more starts right now. Ethereum creator Vitalik Buterin highlighted that no single execution client holds more than two-thirds of the market share, marking a significant improvement in client diversity for the network. Geth has previously dominated as the supermajority execution layer client with over 70% market share earlier this year. The market share of Geth has since dropped to less than 60%. The improvement follows a series of client transitions by major staking providers, including Coinbase Cloud and Allnodes. A critical bug in a single client with over two-thirds market share could potentially lead to a network split. Ethereum's multi-client architecture serves to mitigate the risks associated with relying on a single client. The OP stack now supports Circle's bridged USDC standard, enabling OP stack chains to implement an upgradable version of bridged USDC using the canonical OP stack bridge. The standard allows for a seamless transition to native USDC in the future without requiring any code changes if Circle chooses to deploy it. The bridged USDC standard tackles the issue of fragmented USDC versions across various chains. Typically, new chains need to establish stablecoin liquidity before a native version is introduced. The integration reduces liquidity fragmentation by eliminating the need for users to migrate their bridged USDC into native USDC once it goes live. And lastly, the Optimism Collective has generated over 14,000 Ether, currently worth about $38 million, in revenue from OP stack chains that are part of the Superchain as part of its sequencer revenue sharing model. Each chain within the Superchain is required to contribute the greater of either 15% of gross profits or 2.5% of total sequencer revenue to the Optimism Collective. In exchange, members of the Superchain gain access to shared upgrades, collective governance, and retroactive funding grants for their ecosystems. Superchain members will also benefit from Optimism's upcoming native interoperability architecture. There are currently 17 OP stack chains that are part of the Superchain. In other news, base names surpasses 200,000 registrations, 3DNS goes live on Base, and the Ethereum Foundation moves 35,000 ETH to Kraken as part of its $100 million a year budget expenditure. This has been a roundup of today's top news stories in Ethereum. You can support this podcast by subscribing and following us at ETH Daily. Also subscribe to our newsletter at ethdaily.io. Thanks for listening. We'll see you tomorrow.